Trifecta handgun.
Hi, welcome back to the channel. I'm Brian. This is Trifecta Handgun. Today we are going to talk about these two handgun rests. These are the two handgun rests that we offer at Trifecta Handgun. You may have read the marketing material. You may have looked at them. You still may be trying to decide which one is the rest for you. I hope today in this video that we can break this down and help you make an informative decision. Let's take a look at the guns. Now I should mention that I don't see these guns as calibers necessarily. I see them as different distances. For instance, this 10 millimeter, I see as a 0 to 50 yard sort of gun. The Ruger in 44 mag, I kind of see as more of a max 100-yard gun for me personally. And the Encore, I'll line out to about 150 yards. I think I could probably contact the vitals farther than that, but I like to stay within the fear zone of the animal in most of my hunting setups. That's just a me thing. Your mileage may definitely vary, but that's how I see these guns, and maybe that will help make my decision when choosing a handgun rest for each of them. So I want to start with our signature camo handgun rest. And when I designed this rest back in 2015 or so, and it came out in 2016, my goal was something very lightweight that you could take anywhere with you, whether it be out east, out west, in the mountains, in a box blind, in a tree stand, whatever. I wanted it to be lightweight. I want it to be very fast. I want it to be easy to use. And most of all, I wanted the handgun hunter to be accurate with it. I recommend 90% of the people, if you're struggling with which rest to buy, get this one. It costs a little bit less. It does everything pretty much that you would want it to do. And I really love it. I use this rest more than the hybrid hunter that I'm going to show you in a little bit. I like kind of close to medium range hunting though, so maybe that kind of alters my decision a little bit. But let me show you some features of this particular rest. Both of our rests have a fluid head, and what that is, it just allows you to easily move up and down very quickly, side to side, and get on target. And then you can lock it down if you want, or you can just leave it loose. You can grab it in the front like this, whatever you want to do, and you can very quickly get on target. You can track game with this rest. So it really does everything. So this fluid head, in order to save some weight, you can see underneath here it is scalloped out, or it's kind of hollowed out. This fluid head is rated for 8 pounds. And I think that takes care of most handguns that are going to be at max about 5.5 pounds. And that's with the scope included. So, and then you can add just a little bit of weight for the rest itself, and it's easily going to come in under that 8 pounds, even the Smith & Wesson 500. So I also want to mention that either of our rests, you can use a quality tripod, like a photographer might use, or one of my favorite methods is the monopod, and that's what I've been using the past couple years, and it really gives me a little bit more flexibility. And if you're wondering how to hunt with either of those, I do have several videos in our library, and I will be making more all the time. I have some updated information on both those methods of hunting. So right now, if you haven't, now would be a good time to subscribe. If you're not ready to subscribe yet, please just hit the like button down there. It only takes a second, and it really helps with the YouTube algorithm. So I want to show you just how tough this rest is. This is the Encore, and I think last time I weighed it is maybe 5.5, 5.5, 5.7 pounds. That's with the scope on it. And I can just drop this right on here. It's very tough. Everything's solid. You're not going to break anything. The recoil really does not affect the rest at all. When your gun recoils, it's not pushing down or jolting anything. So any gun could go on either of our two rests. So if our signature camo rest does everything, why would you want to think about something else like this hybrid hunter? Well, a lot of hunters don't go that far to their hunting area, maybe only a couple hundred yards or two to their box blind, or maybe they have a place they just sit on the ground, whatever, and maybe they need to reach out. Maybe, an extra 50 yards might mean a lot to them. I wanted to design a rest that was a little bit heavier. It's going to come in at just over 5 pounds, but a little bit more weight in a rest will actually help you out a lot, especially when you're going to use a bigger gun and a bottleneck cartridge like the 7mm 08 that this Encore takes. So a couple features of this that are different from our signature camo. It does have a beefier fluid head under there, and it's just a little bit more stable, I think, when you're trying to reach out to make that long range shot. Now, this is a modular rest. What that means is you can take this handle off the front. This is kind of a fine adjustment handle. You can take that off the front, and you can take this telescoping handle off the back. And there may be a lot of instances where just this extra footprint of this telescoping handle is going to get in your way. One thing I can think of is a tree stand. If I'm going to hunt out of a tree stand, maybe I don't want this handle if my distance isn't going to be that far. Maybe I'm not using the Encore, but maybe something more like the 44 Magnum or even this 10mm pistol. You can still use the Hybrid Hunter Rest with something this small. It's not going to hurt anything. It's just a lot of weight for just a small little polymer gun. It doesn't always totally make sense unless you already own this rest and you want to try something different. Then it's perfectly fine. I want to give you an example of a place I like to hunt, and it's in southern Indiana. It's very hilly down there. And there is a utility gas line, actually. It's about 95 yards wide, and it just goes on for miles. But I can see probably 400 yards, and I can just get up on the highest hill, and I can sit there in some tall grass, and I can hunt. And that's one of the instances where I thought maybe a rest like this would just really come into play. Now I'm going to have some more videos coming up showing how to use this with a monopod, and there is a little bit of an advantage sometimes in certain situations using a monopod with a rest like this. It gives you more touch points, and we'll talk about that more when the monopod video comes out. Now another instance I thought of is if you're out west hunting and maybe you're doing some spot and stalk antelope hunting where you can use your vehicle and spot them, and maybe you're going to try to sneak in, within a few hundred yards. Maybe this rest would also be good in that situation where you have time to set up, you're going to use a quality tripod, but you need to make that long range shot. You're not necessarily going to be walking for miles up and down hills, but you do need to make that long range shot because you really can't get any closer to that particular animal. Antelope are hard to stalk in close to because they have such good eyesight. Hey guys, I just want to take a second to say, hey, thank you for all the people that have trusted us with the Trifecta handgun rest. We've sold quite a few of these so far, and I know it's a little bit sketchy to buy something off the internet that you have never used before. And I want to say thank you to everybody that has taken a chance. All the really nice emails and comments on social media. I really appreciate that so much, more than you'll ever know. And if you're new, if you're still thinking about it, if you still have questions after watching this video, please contact me via email. Their contact information is on the website, and we'll get your questions answered. We'll learn a little bit more about you, your gun, what you're hunting. There's a lot of questions you may have that are not answered in this video. I also want to say that for 2022, at least for 2022 and maybe beyond, we'll see, that we have a try it for a full year, and if you're not satisfied, you can send it back for a full refund, including your shipping. So I can't make it any easier to try it for you personally. You can try it now, you can buy it, go through the whole hunting season. If it doesn't work out for you like you thought it would just by watching the videos or reading the stuff on the website or social media, send it back. I will give you a full refund. I also want to say that this rest is warranted for life for the original owner. So if you have anything break, contact me. I will fix it for you. I'll either send you a new one, I'll send you a new part, you can send it back and have it fixed, whatever's most convenient for you. My whole deal is I want you guys having fun and handgun hunting and matching the potential of your gun up to what it can do with what you can do. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.